Well, let's get into the dailies for today. And we have the daily graphic here. On the front page of the daily graphic, we have danger looms at Pantang Hospital. Hundreds of squatters occupy perilous structures. And you see the photos of the structures there. It's a complete and utter eyesore, you know, and for people to be living in these structures, even for us as a nation to allow Pantang Hospital to have structures that look like this, no, that's not right. It's not right. We have gold for oil policy, $4.8 billion to be saved yearly. This is coming from Dr. Baumia. And then we have part of the $259 million Kijitia market gutted by fire. Very unfortunate incident there, and the horrifying scenes of billowing smoke and fire, you know, burning through the structure there. It's just really terrible. But those are the headlines on the front page of the daily graphic.
So on the Ghanaian Times, some of the headlines are WAEC bars 5 SHSs for charging on approved fees. Ghana requires 30 billion to develop nationwide railway network, and that's from the GRDA CEO. Engineering works on expansion of Wager water treatment plant complete. Education minister has no power to close down schools, and that's by Nat. Anas 25 million Ghana cedis defamation suit against Kennedy Japan dismissed.
All right, and so we have the Chronicle, and on the front page of the Chronicle we have Mahama's AG rejects Akufo-Addo's award, and of course she was part of the ITLOS conversations there, and he awarded some of the people, or the people that were involved in the international you know, discussions on our maritime borders and so on. And Bashir didn't accept the award. Accra Commando, Kojo Nkrumah and others rewarded for fighting COVID-19. New Kijija market on fire, and I will win Ghana off IMF, says Dr. Efriye Akoto. All right, the scripture for today is another interesting one, and in terms of how it places, you know, Hebrews 13, verse 17, have confidence in your leaders and submit to the authority, because they keep watch over you as those who must give an account. Okay.
Hey. We don't know how we feel about this one, but yeah, okay. Yeah. Business Finder. Support vegetable producers. Ghanaian exporters appeal to government. We've ensured stability across downstream sector. Bridge develop gap, and that's by the U.S. envoy.
So just a quick one on the Mahama's AG rejects Akufo-Addo's award. In the story here, it says here, Marietta's reason, and this is Marietta Opong, who was the Attorney General at the time. Yeah. She says, it says here, according to the information available to the Chronicle, the committee received a letter from Mrs. Marietta Brew Apia Opong, which indicated why she rejected the national honor. The Chronicle has been informed that the astute lawyer claimed that the awardees, listen though, the awardees were not a true reflection of the legal team that secured the victory. Enough said.
Oh, I get it.
You can go get your Chronicle to read the further in the stories. Well, I have the Daybreak, and the Daybreak says gold for oil, G4O. Government targets 100% import. It's coming from Vice President. Ghana Link trains stakeholders on ICOMS. And we have MPA touts downstream success story. And Apenyo Markin suggests reduction of MPs. He's saying we should cut it back to 200 instead of the 275. And we have, yes, those are the stories on the front page of the Daybreak.
And some stories on the front page of the new Crusading Guide. Anas, Tiger Eye resolute in corruption fight. Holds injustice, bars judgment exposed. And Zongo Youth petition GBA to suspend Baba Jamal. Energy Minister pitches strongly for Ghana in Barcelona. Dome Kitachi road project in limbo as workers fight over unpaid salary.
Which one is that?
The new Crusading Guide.
What was the Dome what? Dome Kitasi.
Yeah.
It's the Dome Kitasi
Road,
Road, yeah.
yeah.
Now that road has been in that state, it's just terrible. That's where the Asheshu University
Yes,
is.
yes,
That
the
road
road.
is just horrible. Anyway, so we have the Anchor newspaper, and that's my final one here. It says 75,000 Ghana Citi Hajj fare inflated, the former ambassador is alleging. Fire guts the KGTR market again there. Asawasi NDC in turmoil again as quote-unquote Mugabe MP sues executives for 10 million Ghana cedis. And Ghana Ivory Coast hold talks over pollution of water bodies by Galamsey. And we carry that story, those headlines again. It was yesterday in some of the papers as well. Let's take a look at Citi Newsroom for some stories that we have there. Apologize to Edubwahin, says Ken Ejipong to Nanado. Apologize to Edubwahin. He was unfairly treated. That's what Ken Ejipong is saying. KGTR market to be closed after Inferno for further probe.
Anas vs. Kennedy, a Japan defamation case. And obviously we watched it this morning on CNR. Defense and Interior Committee to visit a chairman today over military raid. We are yet to finalize consultations on new road tolls, says the Finance Ministry.
Okay. Dismissal of defamation case against Ken Ejipong, a travesty of justice, Anas is speaking. And court, of course, has dismissed the 25 million Ghana Citi defamation suit against Ken Ejipong. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for us to go for sports. Don't go anywhere. Sports is next. All right, it's time for sports, and today on sports we have the Bet Power Ghana Premier League stories. We also have the Premier League on Citi, and then we'll be doing some UEFA Champions League stories as well. Now, the Accra Great Olympics head coach Bismarck Kobe Mensah has called for handlers of Ghana's men's football team to have a quota system to ensure players competing in the Ghana Premier League get picked to play for the Black Stars. He said this in the aftermath of Chris Hughton's naming a 25-man squad to face Angola in a 2023 AFCON two-legged tie against Angola. Now, with the first time taking place at the Baba Inyara Stadium in Kumasi, some observers say that the players in the league did not impress in the CHAN, and that could be why they have been snubbed by Houghton. But Mensah believes that the showing in the tournament shouldn't be the yardstick to judge local players. But I really wonder what the yardstick should be. I mean, it has to be on a meritorious basis. It cannot just be by a quota system. I mean, seriously, there has to be, it must be meritorious. That's what we've been crying for all this while. That one of the major reasons for why the Ghana Premier League has such a poor fan following, you know, these days, is the whole thing that a lot of fans don't feel that what we are watching is, you know, genuinely representative of what, you know, we would like to see. So I think the thing has to be based purely on merit, you know, and it should be merit across board, not just because you are in a foreign league, but even in Ghana, we should see that it's meritorious. Premier League on Citi. Two rearranged matches were played on Wednesday night, and it saw Brighton beating Crystal Palace 1-0 and Brentford beating Southampton 2-0. Now, Brighton secured their victory through a Solly March strike in the 15th minute. Now, the result sends them to 7th place on the table, and they are tied with Liverpool on 42 points, but with a game less. Brentford beat Southampton thanks to goals from Ivan Toney and Yohan Wissa. Brentford moves up to 8th place on the table. Now, the UEFA Champions League round 16. Real Madrid beat Liverpool 1-0 at the Bernabeu on Wednesday to make it to the last 8 of the competition. Now, Real Madrid and Napoli joined Benfica, Manchester City, Chelsea, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, and AC Milan in the final 8 of the competition. Karim Benzema's second half strike was the difference on the day as Real Madrid made it through 6-2 on aggregate over 2 legs. Now, Napoli also made it to the last 8 with a 3-0 win over Frankfurt. Now, a Victor Osimhen double and a penalty from Piotr Zielinski settled the tie 5-0 on aggregate. And those are the sports stories that we have for the morning. We'll be right back after.
Ago. Ago.